check. Yeah, man, one more, and we out of here. All right, Natty Rebel, collabo between Robert, Nesta Mali, and Uri. You know that? Where were you in the 1970s? Mid-70s? Just get together and live in one love and one. Yeah. I'm a rebel. You know it. So right. That's going to be like a devil when I see the sounds called a rebel. I'm a rebel. Yay! Good afternoon, brothers and sisters from Nigeria, across Africa, United States, and around the world. This is Smart Madu Ajaja, convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now. Global matters are rising. Good morning, Africa. And reggae at its best on ONN. Yes, it is 3:15 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. We come into you with a powerful edition. Yes, yet another powerful edition of Nigeria Now at ONN. All right, you ready? Yes. Welcome. Yes. Share. Bring more people on board right here. We got something very, very important and very powerful to talk about. All right, but before that, let us enjoy this collabo between Robert Nesta Mali and Uri. All right, I'm a rebel. Come on. Come on. Move your legs. Move your hands. Sorry. I'm a Jara. Soul adventurer. All right, we commit everything we're going to do today and what we're going to say to the hands of the Almighty. Yeah. None of this world is going to bend me to take side with the unjust people. Not at all. And the darkness that they represent. We represent light. Principalities of color. Yeah, man. Hey, TikTok, YouTube, it is Perry tonight. Yes, Nigeria Now at ONN. And what we're going to be talking about today? Yes, the war raging in Nigeria, declared by the Fulani elite on the people of Nigeria, the indigenous people of Nigeria. That's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, be in the rebel mode now. All right. You want some more? Okay, one more from Peter McIntosh. Equal rights and justice. That is what we seek. Yeah, man. Come on. Equal rights and justice. That's what we want. We want equal rights and justice for all Nigerians. Yes. We must end the bloodshed in Nigeria. We must end the raping of our women in Nigeria. We must end the kidnapping of our people in Nigeria. We must end the massacre of our people in Nigeria. All Nigerians in IDP camps must go back to their homestead. Yes. And who is the only people who can make it happen? It's we, the people of Nigeria. The man God, equal right and justice. Equal right and justice. I say, equal right. Nigerians need equal rights. Share this message. Share this message. Yes. Yeah. Justice for all Nigerians. Justice for the Hausa people. Justice for the Igbo people. Justice for Niger Delta. Justice for all peoples of Nigeria. That's what they say. Yes. You ready? Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Equal right and justice. Yeah. We say equal right. Justice. That's what we need. Equal right. Equals need equal right. Equal right and justice. All the oppressors in Nigeria. The people of Nigeria must be ready to get rid of them. Yes, they have oppressed us long enough. All right. 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 Down, brother man. Where you gonna run to? There, brother man. So where you gonna run to? There, brother man. Where are you gonna run to when the Armageddon comes? You created it. All right. All right. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. You can run, but you can't hide, you know. Now press the man. Ah. Down. All right, all right, all right, all right, the people of the world. Good afternoon from Houston, Texas, United States of America. My name is Matt Mado Ajaja. I am the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite and the anchor of Nigeria Now. Global Matters Arising. Good Morning Africa and Reggae at its best on ONN. It is a wet day here. It's been raining all morning, here in Houston, Texas. I don't know what it is where you are. We are going to be talking about something very, very important. If you're in Nigeria, you know what's going on. What's up with Nigeria right now? Nigeria is in disarray. Nigeria is on fire. Nigeria is about to end. But we, the patriotic citizens of Nigeria, must do whatever we can to conscientize our people and raise their consciousness to stand up and stand their ground and defend themselves and their country. That is what we are about to talk about, what we're going to be talking about. And it's going to be an interactive session. The simple matter is this. The Fulanis have declared a war. Fulani elites have declared a war on Nigeria. And we're going to take you through some historical perspective to where we are today, how we got to where we are. And it is our job to talk about this. It is our duty. Yes. Since the Industrial Revolution of Europe, yes, that became a global emergency that led to the convening of the Berlin Conference in 1884 and 1885 that led Europeans, especially from Western Europe, to set a sail to go into Africa to create spheres of influences that translated into 54 fake countries that the African people did not have any hand in. You know, that we are going to be talking about all that into 1914, the amalgamation treaty, and then, well, the constitutional developments, that led us to independence, wobbly fake independence as a country called Nigeria. Massive, sprawling, beautiful edifice of a country. Sadly, that was created to never work. And for the interest of Imperial Britain and their acolytes, Fulani elites, 11, 12 generations of them. And every time they come, is to destroy the country. They don't believe in the country. Nigeria has no soul. But you and I and the rest of us can infuse soul, a soul into Nigeria that make it a country that we will all love and cherish. We have never had a country. Let's make no mistakes about that. That is why we have not been able to hold the country together. And that is why it's a duty, yes, to us in this generation to make it happen. The mistakes of our forefathers we can correct if we are serious of truly building a genuine and great nation. Welcome to ONN, and it begins. We before this time, before the talk of the European Berlin Conference, there had been slavery. All right, slavery from two angles. Slavery from the Arabs that took 700 years of cutting the black man away from the African continent to the Arab world. 700 years, right? And then from there, we were given an identity that is not ours. We became the first their religion on us, Islam. All right? For the sake of this argument, this is history. We have to say it. So if you feel offended, that's up to you. But we got to tell our story. Our relationship with the Arabs was what led to the Islamizing of our heads and our mind and our environment. 700 years they took black people in captivity to the Arab world. 700 years. As if taking them captive was not enough. They castrated all the male slaves. All right. When they castrate somebody, you cannot give birth. All right. So the black race will not populate the Arab race. 700 years of castrating them and exporting them from Africa as slaves. 700 solid years. And during those 700 years, the female slaves were reduced to sex toys. Sex toys. And sadly, as we speak today, those things are still happening to black people who are taken from Africa to serve as domestic workers, especially the females. They rape them, they subject them to all kinds of sexual abuses. Yes, that is unreported. Yes, those are the people who gave us Islam. All right, after theirs came the Europeans for another 400 years. 400 years of European slavery. They created our people, our ancestors, like dogs, dumped them into ships, transported them to different parts of Europe and America. All right? When it was over, they said 12 million, but I believe that it was over 20 million people that were taken away from the continent of Africa to different parts of Europe, including the United States, where they worked as plantation workers and were subjected to all forms of inhumane treatment, change their identity, change their orientation, change the way they think. The only thing they could not change was their skin color. Yes, that's the story of the black man. Yes, in all, 1,100 years of slavery. So don't you think something got to flip? Something got to flip. Something got to give. Something got to change. All right, from slavery, they discovered that they could enslave the people in their home countries. That was when the idea of colonialism came about. All right, that's after the Berlin Conference, they left to different parts of Africa. Some went east, some went west, some went south. All right, that's why you found uh, apartheid in South Africa, some degree of colonialism. Some people came from Netherlands and parts of Germany in 1652 to claim ownership of South Africa, Southern Africa, and that they stay behind a Bible, a biblical verse in was it Genesis? All right, that God gave them the land. Okay, now in the western part of Africa, the Europeans were there, the French people, the Britain, Portugal, and the rest of them were there operating. And the same thing happened in East Africa. One people. All right. So that was when the industrial revolution became a global emergency that required African raw materials and cheap labor. Right? They decided to enslave our people in their home country, and they called it colonialism. See, every generation came with a different name, but the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing. Slavery. All right. The Arab colonized our minds, changed our ways. The Europeans did the same thing, gave us different names. And when it was over, they told us about their Bible, their God. And we were telling us to look up, close our eyes. And they were stealing and mapping our mineral resources. Yes, that is what brought us where we are. So these are historical antecedents that we have to talk about. And then why they were in Nigeria now, we're limited coming to Nigeria now. What led to the formation of Nigeria? There was this British Royal Niger Company. All right. When they came to what we know as Nigeria today, fake country, they were operating in the north. All right. And there was a bitter war between the Hausas and the Fulanis. When the Fulanis invaded that place in 1804, the British aided and abetted the Fulanis to defeat the Hausas. What they did, because the Fulanis had already established their Arab empire and ways of life using Islam as a medium to hold the people hostage. Right? So they did not bother to convert them to Christianity because there were two colonizing forces at play. So they reached a deal on the black people. Yes, we were treated as commodities. The Fulanis are purely Arabs. They are not Africans. They are not from Africa. They may have black skin color. Yes, because of mixture of all kinds of things that happened. All right, between the Arab slave merchants and our African women that they raped. That was the origin of the Fulani race. Yes, they have skin color like near ours, but their minds are Arabic minds. They found themselves like overlords over the black people, especially in northern Nigeria. So that was why it was easy to overrun the Hausa people. Yes. And then the expansive emirate system that they created there that subjugated the whopping majority Hausa race. As we stand today, 222 years of Fulani subjugation of the Hausa people. That has to come to an end. Hausa people or the Hausas are indigenous African people. Yes, they have a very rich history that is over 3,000 years that the Fulanis obliterated to make them float like a no people. They are some people, and they must wake up now to reclaim who they are. Yes. So while they were operating in the north, they used the indirect rule system in the north, and they were using the direct rule system in the south of Nigeria. You hear so many battles here and there, and the strong Igbo resistance of the Europe against the British imperialism. and that extended to my home place. My home, the king of my place, Osagbobu, was taken to Calabar along with Oba Ovarame in the late 1890s because of their resistance, South resistance against European imperialism. They took them to Calabar where they were summarily executed. These are the people who tell us about human rights today. They disrespected their human rights. They were not taken through due process of trial. They executed them. All right. Now, business became so good that there was need for administrative convenience to create an amalgamation of their southern and northern protectorates. So in 1914, they came together and picked some people, six, six people from that area that went ahead to become Nigeria. Six. Out of the six, there were two Fulanis. Yes. One of them later became the Sultan of Sokoto, and another one became the Emir of Kano. All right. And then that was the two Fulanis that they took. All right. They picked two Yorubas. The first Yoruba lawyer. Yes, the Yorubas have been out there, for a very long time. The first Yoruba lawyer was taken, was picked, because they were the elites at the time. All right. Then the Alafin of Oyo at the time, yes, was another one. They went to the northeast of what become northeast of Nigeria today. They picked the Shehu of Borno, a Kanuri. All right. Yes, that was four. And they went to where we call Niger Delta of today. Yes, because of the closeness of that place to the sea. Through their expedition, they were able to come there. Calabar, yes, the Obong of Calabar, Henshaw, was the sixth one. Yes, six. They could talk to, those are the ones, that had did earlier relationship with Imperial Britain. Six of them were picked. There was no Igbo that was picked because the Igbos resisted them. So they saw them as a threat, not the people that they want to deal with. All right. There was no Hausa. Yeah, because the Hausas were mad. They were the ones that the British aided the Fulanis to defeat the Hausas. So the Hausa people were not put in the picture. The Benis were not put in the picture. The Ekas were not put in the picture. The thieves were not in the picture. The Jukuns were not in the picture. Yes, the Orobos were not put in the picture. The Benis were not put in the picture. Six handpicked by Imperial Britain. They signed this amalgamation treaty. Six of what became citizens of what became Nigeria and 22 Britons signed this tragedy that we call Nigeria that must change. And if you look through history, the history of Nigeria to where we are, this relationship did not die. The earliest people, the signers of the signatories of the amalgamation treaty that claim the ownership of Nigeria. At every twist and turn in Nigeria's history, you will see them. And the most recent, I'm not going to take you through the hell of going order, The most recent was the attempt to create something that was an absurdity to a democracy. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the rogue, the drug dealer, certificate forger, an identity thief, a drug dealer, sent a bill to the National Assembly that would have proclaimed Saad Abubakar, sitting as the Sultan in Sokoto. By the way, the Sultan of Sokoto is not a traditional religion, it's a traditional ruler by any African standard because there was no history of a Fulani empire that we studied in history. The Fulani Empire, or what they call the Sokoto Caliphate, was a religious creation, a political creation created to achieve the mission of Madam Fodio of conquering Nigeria and the West African sub-region ahead of the conquest of the entire Africa. This is an expansive mission. This is not a joke. Yes. Yes. All right, Jeremy Leland. Yeah, hey, how are you? It's been a while, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been busy running around for Nigeria, looking for how to make things better. All right, let me say what you said. You said me and 100 people will vote Tinubu out. All right, I hope there will be an election because I don't believe that an election is going to save Nigeria because the country is so messed up. Okay, thank you very much, Jeremy. Yes, now back to the history. Bola Ahmed Tinubu made an attempt to go to the National Assembly to proclaim, to give constitutional backing that would have proclaimed Saad Abubakar, the Satan in Sokoto, sitting on that fake caliphate, as the chairperson, the president of Nigerian Traditional Rulers Council, co-chairman or co-president, with who? The Oni of Ife, a young man who was born in 1974 when I was already in primary five. Very corrupt and morally bankrupt. They wanted Bola Ahmed Tinubu is evil. He wanted the two of them to be co-chairmen of the Nigerian Traditional Rulers Council without any due process, with nobody electing them. They took that bill to the National Assembly and we all rose up against it and it became dead until one traditional ruler from Enugu State came. They had invited him to a meeting at Abuja, thinking he was one of those without integrity that will collect Ghana must go full of money and then shut up his mouth. He raised an objection, asking a very critical question that embarrassed Bola Ahmed Tinubu and embarrassed the fake, stupid, useless Oni of Ife, asking them questions about how the Oni of Ife was elected the chairperson of the Southern Traditional Rulers Council, a council that had never existed. He asked them on what occasion, who voted for them, who made them. Bola Ahmed Tinubu could not answer that question. The Oni of Ife was so embarrassed that he was looking for a place to hide himself, but he could not. Yes, I tumbled for that Igbo man. Igbo man will always show up and ask the right question when the rest of Nigeria is sleeping. That is why Nigeria is not able to deal with them. They don't like cheating and they won't cheat you. Yes, they will stand up. And that man stood up like a colossus. The rest of was history. And this is a people who arranged to give a criminal, Sunday Igboho, a chieftaincy title. Yes. Why holding Nnamdi Kanu in prison somewhere? Something is wrong with Nigeria. And it's not going to be well with Nigeria until Nigeria comes to term and find the reason to fight to do justice. Yes, in that land. Nigeria will continue to be a fake country until justice comes to that land. Yes, beautiful place, everything in it, but the people are poor. Yes. Hey, if you are joining us for the very first time, we thank you. If you are joining us from TikTok, please follow us and like what we are doing and comment, ask us questions. No, we are trying to make this as interactive as possible. So the war that the Fulani declared against the people of Nigeria is a long-term war. It's been going on. They conquered the Hausa people and they brought them into Nigeria as a country. And they have used them for a very long time to stall the growth and development and progress and prosperity of the country. Yes, but we are going to talk about some other things to where we are today. It's a Syria war. They always know how to build alliances and how to use vectors to operate. Yes, I really thumb up for them, a minority group whose population is not up to 5% of our entire country's population, manipulates 250 million people. So it goes to show that something is wrong with the rest of Nigeria. And they need to cure themselves now. And we don't have enough time to be very candid. The extent of destruction and devastation that these people have brought upon Nigeria is enormous, very massive. But we are not going to fold our arms and look as our country is being overrun. All right. So that's the series of political development, constitutional conference that led to independence. Sorry, I needed to jump to where I was to explain something to you. The extent of the collaboration and the destruction these people have brought upon Nigeria. Constitutional conferences were held in England, sadly, about something that was supposed to be an African issue. Yes. And then they gave us the Greek gift of independence. That Greek gift of independence had some players at the time. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and Amadu Bello, the Fulani, the grandson of Osman Dan Fodio, the terrorist who overran the Hausa land down to Ilorin, and then installed his children and his allies as emirs over the Hausa majority, and then the Yorubas in Ilorin, in Kwara State today. All right. So at independence, because of these people were strange bedfellows, they could not agree. But there was one thing that was clear, that the Fulani component of this arrangement have been passing down from generation to generation, that they own Nigeria. Yes, that they own Nigeria. Yes. Yeah, they claim with audacity that they are the owners of Nigeria. I'm going to read something to you so you can see what I'm talking about. The Fulanis will say it with audacity that they are the owners of Nigeria. And that they have been saying it, the people of Nigeria will look away and not take them on. Yes. They have been saying it. I'm going to read it to you. Let me see the most recent one. That one bastard called Ahmad Gumi said, yes, a terrorist. They terrorize the Nigerian people. They terrorize the Nigerian mind. They terrorize everything about Nigeria. Yeah, I'm looking for that. I'm going to read it to you so you can hear. And so if you are a Nigerian, a true Nigerian, and you still cannot wake up because you want to prove that you are Yoruba, you want to prove that you are an Igbo, you want to prove that you are all kind, you're a Christian or Muslim, you must be a fool. Then after hearing this, and you don't rise up for Nigeria, you are a fool, and you remain a fool. Now, I am close to getting it. Let me see. Yes. They have declared a war against Nigeria and everything about Nigeria. They've declared war against the indigenous people of Nigeria. That is why they go to any place, kill as much as they want, unchallenged. A country that is supposed to have a police force, a country that is supposed to have an armed forces, a country that is supposed to have all manners of security agencies. And you see, the Nigerian army has become docile and incapable of doing anything. There is a reason for it. It's part of the conspiracy. And the reason the Nigerian people must stop believing in that armed forces. Because that military, the Nigerian military is not Nigeria, it's not for the people of Nigeria. It's an Arab Fulani military. It's not our military. They don't represent us. They fight us. The Nigerian army is only good when it goes to Igbo land. The Nigerian army is only good when it comes to the Niger Delta to safeguard the economic interests that benefits only Fulani elites. Yes, that is why they exist. They don't exist for any other reason but for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for this statement created uh, that Ahmad Gumi made. So I read it to the world. I read it to the people of Nigeria. So if you have ears, so you can hear. If you have common sense, so maybe your common sense now will take charge of how you think and not allow your religion govern you. The two religions are not our religions. Yes, the first encounter between man and God was between man and African, black man. The Bible that they brought back with economics in it was written by 72 African scholars. You don't hear that. All right, go to Ethiopia. All those are there for you to see. Because we have been reduced to a people who cannot read, who cannot research, and who cannot question our environment. Yes, the first encounter between man and God was between man and the black man, God and the black man. Yes. You hear that? So go get away with that. Go wrong with that history because it is incontrovertible. Yes, I'm looking for that statement. I am getting close to it. So I will read it to you so you can see how these people think, how a typical Fulani thinks. They think less of everybody. They think they are better than everybody. Yes, and for a very long time we accepted this. Yes, they created a fake ethnic group called Hausa Fulani. All right? They used the Hausa people to climb to the zenith of Nigeria. And now they are no longer Hausa Fulani. They have come with audacity now to fully identify themselves as Fulanis. So the Hausas were a collective vector, yes, with which they carried themselves to the top of Nigeria, using their population, yes, to the detriment of the Hausa people and at the expense of the people of Nigeria. How long are we going to continue to pay this? We are not going to pay this anymore. So this is why we must stop right now. And this is the reason we must rise up as a people. Yes, please bear with me as I look for it. It's a lot of thing inside it. And if you want to hear something, let me hear something before we even go.
I rather choose a corrupt and terrorist Islam than a non-Islam. Yes, a corrupt and a terrorist Muslim is better than somebody who is not a Muslim. You see, sometimes I used to think on my head, what kind of person will come out on the public media and be saying this kind of rubbish? I rather choose a corrupt and terrorist Islam than a non-Islam. Yes, a corrupt and a terrorist Muslim is better than somebody who is not a Muslim. You see, sometimes I used to think.
Did you hear that? That is a young Fulani man speaking openly, right in the public space, that he prefers a terrorist and a corrupt Muslim to lead him. And the country is quiet. We have a police in Nigeria that is not doing anything. All right? Okay, here's another one. This one is a Yoruba man, a Muslim, who has accepted the, the slave ship of the Fulani oligarchy in Nigeria. He said, we need Sharia in Southwest. Anyone that doesn't like it can convert to Christianity. That is how they think. And they say it's a traditional ruler. The state governor, the Oluwo of Osun, Oluwo of Iwo, Osun, Oba Abdurrashid Akambi, yes, he made this statement. And then nobody did anything to him. So imagine when these people have
Smart money.
every opportunity that they have to destroy Nigeria. They won't waste time. And they have been doing that. And that is exactly what they have been doing. And still they
Smart.
come. Yes. Come on now. Yes, let's get to this particular one. That is what the one that really is most interesting to me. I am going to get to it, so be patient with me. If you are watching me, just be patient, and feel free to ask me any question as I look for this. It's a very very important document that a lot of Nigerians they are talking about it, but I was expecting that an action will emanate from the police on that, but no, that didn't happen. So it tells you the type of decadence Nigeria is going through. Yes, yes. Hey, Augustine Sigwe, how are you? Good to see you. Good to meet you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am trying to capture this. Come on now. I had it earlier. All right, I'm going to get it. No matter what, I am not going to be in a hurry to let it go because it's very, very important that the world hears this. So they know the type of Nigeria that we have. Nigeria is fake. Nigeria is not a country, but we can make it a country. All the patriotic citizens of Nigeria, as it stands right now, we are already here. We are not going to abandon our country and run away for some Arabs because they are mad. Yes. So we have to stay. If all of us have to die, let all of us die. It is better for us to die than to be running from these people. We've been running away from them for far too long. Yes, for far too long. We have run. We are not running any. We are not running anymore. There's no reason we should be on the run for marauders who came into our land. We quarter them, and they are showing us hate. We cannot afford to run away from them. Nigeria is our country, not their country. Heck, where is this? All right, I'm gonna get it. Oh my God. Yes, please bear with me. Please bear with me. All right. All right. It is a revolution. Revolution. To make a solution. All right. This is what Gumi said.
It is a revolution.
This is what Gumi said.
It is a revolution. To make a solution. It is a revolution.
All right. I'll find it finally. Now, this is what Gumi said. Islam is tolerance. Nigeria was handed over to Muslims at independence. Yet we accommodated Christians. Ahmad Gumi. This is the mindset that a typical Fulani has. Down to the one who sleeps in the bush. Yes. Down to the one who sleeps in the bush with animals. That's the mindset. They think that they own Nigeria. They go to any part of Nigeria and commit mayhem. Unchallenged and grossly unpunished. Did you hear that? He said at independence, Nigeria, an African country, was handed over to them. Arabs and Muslims. And they are tolerant. They accommodated Christians. Where are those Christians from? Are they from the moon or from another planet? Those he claimed are Christians. Are they not Africans? Are they not Nigerians? So why did he have to be that? They, the marauders, whose ancestors came into Nigeria in 1804 as invaders. How are they the owners of the country? These are the people who 6 years after independence, let me backtrack. At independence on day one, and I'm going to play that for you. On day one, Amadou Bello, the grandson of Osman Dan Fodio, speaking to a BBC reporter, fired the bullet that killed Nigeria. Yes. On day one, you want to hear what he said, Amadou Bello? Amadou Bello's speech. You know, they don't like to hear this. They wish that speech was not anywhere. They don't even care. They love it. Yes. Yes. All right, I'm going to play this. The people of the world, so you can hear that these people have been on a mission. It's not anything like a joke. They have been on a mission.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 Northerners in our civil service here. And I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by Northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with Northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is
Apologies. Something happened here. Yes, I'm going to replay that because I know that a lot of you did not get it. When I first played it, because of some network issue that we developed here. So I'm going to play it again. So be patient with me.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 Northerners in our civil service here. And I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by Northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with Northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a Northerner first. If you can't get a Northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country.
Well, it might, but you are, I mean, new to our region,
He
but
doesn't
how many
care.
Northerners are employed in the East or in the West? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
One thing.
That was Ahmadu Bello, the grandson of Osman Dan Fodio, the big Fulani terrorists that overran Hausa land in 1804. That mindset has not changed because it's something they have been recycling from generation to generation. You hear him talk about northerners. The idea of northerners is when you talk about northerners in Nigeria, you're talking about Fulanis. They use that fake northern nationalism as a bargaining chip to hold Nigeria to ransom for the benefits of strictly Fulanis. A lot of Nigerians did not know what was going on until most recently. When they come, all of us will be blaming Hausa people. What they did was hijack the Hausa language, present themselves as Hausa people, that they speak for the North. That was a smokescreen until recently. And others are falling apart. So when you hear Northerner, this Northerner nonsense is for the benefit of Fulanis, not for the people in the North. They use that to rob Nigeria. They rob Nigeria in the name of the North, but give absolutely nothing but extreme poverty, illiteracy, criminal neglect, abuses, yes, to the people of the North. This war has been raging. It just reached a dangerous crescendo. Like I said, at every turn in Nigeria's history, you will see it. You see what he said about the Igbos. Right at independence. Right at independence. These people have a morbid hate for the Igbos. And they were able to sell it to the rest of Nigeria, including people from my own area. Everybody hates the Igbos in Nigeria. But they can't tell you why they hate them. What is wrong with being ambitious? They hate that they are ambitious. They hate that they are hardworking. You heard what he said? If you put them in a labor camp, within a couple of years or a year, they want to be supervisors. Yes, every man has the right to be ambitious. They work to earn where they are and not to be awarded anything like Nigeria has been awarding these idiots. This is the reason the people of Nigeria must stand up now. And at every juncture in Nigeria's history, they always had this alliance with Yoruba elites. Yes, with Yoruba elites. I didn't say the Yoruba people, so you don't misunderstand me. They always have it some Yoruba elites. Remember the document of amalgamation. Who signed it? Two Fulanis, two Yorubas, one Kanuri, and one Efik. All right? Yes. And they have maintained that relationship. If you look at the constitution, what is happening right now, Nigerian government to date, you see it. There is a Yoruba man, president, that represents that institution, that relationship. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There is Kashim Shetima, a Kanuri from that history. There is Akpabio, Senate president, from that history. All right? You want us to go on? Now, the question here is, what pact did Bola Ahmed Tinubu sign with the Fulanis? who used violence to bring him through the back doors to become the president of Nigeria? Why is Bello Matawale Minister of State, Minister of Defense? Why is Nuhu Ribadu National Security Advisor? Even when he's not the most intelligent person, he has proved to be a disaster. That all that thing that we looked at Ribadu at, they were all made up, product of the media. Yes, it's as corrupt, and it's as nepotistic as every Fulani that I have met. Nepotism. Why did Buhari destroy Nigeria for 8 years unchallenged with Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the leader of their party? Where was the Igbo man? At every juncture, check it out. Check it out. The coup that they talked about that was Igbo coup. It wasn't really an Igbo coup. Even Babangida in his book, as nasty as he was, spoke the truth that that coup that they thought about was an Igbo coup of 1966 was actually not an Igbo coup. How will a whole Igbo land, the Igbo people, come together to plan a coup against the government in Nigeria? So all Igbos came together to plan that coup. The Nigerian media has never been good. The Nigerian media command that has been a product of some elites with so much hate, who have been working with these Fulani irritantists. Yes, they have never been good. That's why I don't grant them interview. Nigerian media, I don't have anything to do with it. Corrupt. Yes, they will never speak the truth. Even as everything is going bad in Nigeria, you see the Nigerian mainstream media will not speak the truth because they are nepotistic and it is tribalistic, corrupt. So that's how they sow this hate. That coup, there were Fulanis involved. You don't hear their name. You don't hear the names of the Fulanis who were involved. There were Hausa people involved. Some of them came out later to become state governors in Nigeria. Only the Igbo young people. And if you ask me today, if Nzogo were to be alive, if you ask Nzogo if he was an Igbo man, I would think he would likely say that he is not an Igbo man. Yes, yes. But they put it out there. The people of Nigeria, and they've been buying it from generation. You heard what one young Yoruba chap say. I know that he did not speak for the Yoruba people. So I will not, nothing on earth will make me believe that he was speaking for the Yoruba people about this election that they are talking about that must not hold. That he will prefer that the Fulanis will continue to kill Yoruba people than for an Igbo man to rule them. Yes, that is the hate we have been recycling in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of hate, and we have to overcome this hate. This generation has to overcome this hate. Otherwise, Nigeria will not move forward. The people who spin this hate are Yoruba, are the Fulani elites. Yes. I was invited to a meeting in ahead of 2023. One Yoruba girl, one young girl in London, she added me to this. I didn't know what it was about. So I asked her, what is this whole thing? And she never told us what it was about until later. I started knowing that it was there for Yahaya Bello, that corrupt criminal killer, for me to be in his presidential campaign team. So, young people in Nigeria, they will create all this to make money. So they will look for credible people to put on their platform. And then they will use that as a way of selling what they are fraud. So when I discovered, I had to remove myself. But before I removed myself, There was this Usman. We had a WhatsApp meeting. What he said about the Igbos, I don't know why he had the confidence to say that to me, thinking that I was going to be clapping for him. That their ancestors told them that they must never have anything to do with the Igbos. That they must make sure that no Igbo rules Nigeria. And that is the obnoxious mentality. A lot of Fulanis. And some Hausas, they have it. Now the Hausas are becoming wiser. They are dissociating themselves. There are elements within the Yoruba race who share this obnoxious belief. And that is why they will tell an Igbo man in Lagos to leave Lagos. That Lagos is for Yoruba people. Forgetting that Lagos is a part of Nigeria. And that as citizens of Nigeria, anybody can lawfully live and work in any place in Nigeria. That you refuse to go and explore and go to Igbo land to seek, if you are able to get anything done there, it's your problem, not the problem of an itinerant Igbo man whose life has been traveling and going to do businesses from outside. They are conquerors. They conquer. They question environments, and they not only question environments. They go there and invest in the local community where you find them. They don't go with AK-47 trying to shoot up any place to forcibly take your land and take what other people have from them. Willing buyer and willing seller. They have the money to invest in real estate. You sell them land, they buy the lands, and they develop the land. So what is your problem? What is your problem with that? Jealousy. This nonsense has to end. Nigeria has so much, even as much as they have stolen from Nigeria. The country is still having a lot that will go around everybody if we have the type of right leadership and the right mindset to be true Nigerians from what we have right now. Yes, the country of hate. How can a country of hate progress? Never. A country where hate is in charge will never ever progress. That's part of the Fulani war against us, against the people of Nigeria. We can't see it. Yes, they use elements from amongst us to prosecute their wars. They know that they are few and they cannot fight the people. So they use our people as vectors, as tools to conquer themselves. Yes. Yes. Otherwise, which president of a country we call a part of his national constituency a dot in a circle, like Buhari did? Yes. And like Ahmadu Bello did. And he got away with it. You heard what Ahmadu Bello said in this recording. Northerners first, in a country that was supposed to be one. And you now see the reason why. Regardless of all this wickedness, their so-called Northerners are the most uneducated people in Nigeria. All the aids that flow into Africa from the United States, from Europe, they end in the north. Yes, they end in the north. And yet, the north has account for 90% of the poor people in Nigeria. They are wicked. All those aids, the Fulani elites corner them. They sell everything. I am very close to some people who manage aids received into Nigeria that end up in the north. What the Fulani elites who are put in positions to manage all those funds, what they do with them. Yes. They are no good. They don't care about Nigeria. They are not Nigeria is not is the list of their priority. They exist inside Nigeria. Their mission is to conquer Nigeria and build their Sokoto Caliphate. You see what is taking place in Sudan? They are behind it. You see in Mali, they are behind it. You see what is taking place in Burkina Faso? They are behind it. They work very closely with France. They work very closely with the France and recently Chinese. The Fulanis have declared a war on Nigeria and Nigerians. Nigerians, you will be stupid after you hear me, after you hear this message, and you don't wake up and start organizing ahead of an Armageddon that is coming. You see how they are raging. They are seizing places. They have seized the entire northeast. They have seized the entire north central. They have seized the entire northwest. They are coming down. In my hometown, they kidnapped over 100 people, killed over 10 of them. They are everywhere in Nigeria. Yes. I told my brother in 2009 when I first visited Nigeria after staying away for 15 years. I said, "Do you see what I see, brother?" He asked me, "What are you seeing?" I say, "All these people, all this, what you are seeing here." So you don't. I say, "They are going to invade Nigeria." And now he knows. Yes. He said, "Smart, you are a prophet." Even though I don't want to answer prophet. I see what Adeboye is not seeing because he's corrupt. I see what Oyedepo is not seeing. Apostle Jonathan Suleiman, those lazy Christians. And they are only good at exploiting and repressing their people. The Fulanis are at war. Their elites are arming them. They arm them. They are elites in the National Assembly that have occupied all the positions Hausa people are supposed to be occupying. They steal and invest into arming Fulani youths that they stationed in bush and forest and farmlands across Nigeria. But the politicians from other parts of Nigeria, what they steal that they share with the Fulanis, they pocket for themselves and their families, and sprinkle little ones, just a bit and pieces to their media thugs that they used to harass people like me and then threaten us. And these idiots don't ask them the question. The youth from across Nigeria are not asking their representatives, their misrepresentatives questions about their plans on how to protect their communities. Look at Akpabio. You look at all of them. You want to see the list of ex-governors who are angling to return to the Senate because they are all jobless. What do they get there to do? To steal. They don't care about the people. They are state governors, like the thug in my state. Yes, that is telling the people of Delta that if they don't vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a co-terrorist, a co-mastermind of terrorism, that they'll be committing evil act. Who the hell is that damn sheriff? A thug, motor backed out that Okawa forced on the people to cover his crime against their humanity. A man who stole 1.3 trillion naira as governor of Delta State. A man who purchased 150 billion naira worth of fake Igbo hat to fit in Atiku's Igbo presidential candidate. Yes, he wants to return to the Senate now. And our people are clapping. People from my hometown, I think they had the highest turnout in Nigeria. Yes, to support a criminal. Those who cannot speak for them. But the Fulani ones are arming their young ones because they want to further the work of Usman Dan Fodio, that violent terrorist. Yes, until they dip their Quran in the sea, adjoining the last town in Niger Delta. Saad Abubakar has oil wells. He has oil blocks in my Niger Delta. But I can now have a gold block in Zamfara, in Kebbi, and in Sokoto. Guess who are mining the gold in Nigeria? Chinese companies that work with the Fulani elites, that arm Fulani elites to cause disorders in the northwest and the north central. You see how they transport soil from Nigeria, laden with raw materials, mineral resources that they cart to China, process them to produce lithium batteries that Elon Musk uses to power his cars that all of us buy. You see the ring? Yes. We are in trouble in Nigeria. You know, when this whole thing started, we were warning Nigerians, be careful, be careful. Nobody listened. Look at where we are right now. It's going to take blood. It's going to take blood to stop this. And this is why now I'm warning Peter Obi. I sent him a message before. Peter Obi, or those obedient who know him, you are now quiet as a bomb is being planted. The people that we do not want, we should not want. Peter Obi is giving them a lifeline through Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso as his vice presidential candidate in an election that must not hold. Anybody who knows Peter Obi, please tell him not to play to become an enemy of Nigeria. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso has been named by the United States intelligence sources as one of those who fund terrorism in Nigeria. America does not hate anybody to that point where they will lie. Yes, they have reasons. And they froze his assets here. I don't know what is pushing Peter Obi. Is it desperation? So out of all 250 million Nigerians, he could not see anybody. He could not see an Hausa man that is intelligent, Yoruba man that is intelligent. He could not see a Baron man that is intelligent. He could not see a Juku man that is intelligent. He could not see an Idoma man that he could work with to appoint his vice presidential candidate. He's landing in that hell. We don't want Fulani elites holding any position in Nigeria until they come to pledge allegiance to Nigeria, because their allegiance is not with Nigeria. They hate Nigeria. That is why they massacre Nigerians. And that is why you don't see them say anything every time Nigerians are massacred. Yes. In 2023, Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso made so many terrible statements against the Igbos and against Peter Obi. So what changed? What changed? But my prayer, my work is against any election holding in Nigeria. Nigeria needs a revolution, not an election. An election will not cut it. How will Peter Obi tame Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso? You can't tame a Fulani. They are wild. They don't respect laws. If they respect laws, they won't be talking about Sharia. We are not an Arab nation. Why is it they don't respect the constitution? Why the double standard? Why Sharia? Sharia is a weapon against the Hausa majority. They know that the Hausa people are now beginning to raise fingers. That is why the clarion call for Sharia came up. They want to shut them down. Yusuf Sodangi, Jibril, I hope you are here listening. We are with you. We will mobilize the people of Nigeria to support and work for the liberation of the Hausa people. Because if the Hausa people are not liberated, I will not be liberated. Nigeria will not be liberated. The Hausa people are the only tool, or is the only tool that the Fulanis had until they went overboard and started killing their farmers, raping their women in the churches, in the mosques, and imposing taxation on their farmers. When they crossed that red line, things started changing. So, Mr. Peter Obi, it is in your best interest, if ever, I don't want to see an election in Nigeria. If ever an election is to hold in Nigeria, and you have Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, you are going to lose that election. And I will campaign so badly against you. I liked you. I invested so much of my own personal money in your 2023 race. You won that election, but you refused to stand up for your right. You started telling us to pray and to wait for a judiciary that has been purchased, instead of standing in the front. So all of us followed you. The whole of Nigeria was ready to follow you, but you let us down. And now you are bringing Kwankwaso. Are you serious? I will campaign so badly. Now I'm making you this promise. So anybody, you honestly, because a lot of you are carried away now. You are not seeing the wrong that Kwankwaso did in the past. You are not seeing the threat to our country's national security that an average Fulani elite represents. You are saying you are okay with Kwankwaso and not okay, seriously. And Nigeria will not be okay with them. There are a lot of things that we have to settle in Nigeria. There are a lot of things that must be settled in Nigeria before we can talk about an election. An election that will bring the true representatives of Nigeria. An election that will not be determined by buying and selling of votes. An election that will not be determined by religion. An election where, if I'm an Igbo man, I am a Deltan, I can choose a Calabar man that can work with me to do the work of Nigeria without recourse to a fear of anybody saying that I'm Christian or Muslim. Here in the United States, I will continue to use it as an example. Joe Biden and Barack Obama were from almost the same area. Yes, but they were presidents and vice presidents, respectively. And they did a great job for the American people. They didn't say north or south. The southern United States was not crying. Yes. Bill Clinton and Al Gore were from Arkansas and Tennessee, respectively. Tennessee and Arkansas were next door neighbors. They shared boundaries. While Bill Clinton was president, Albert Gore was vice president for 8 years. And they delivered for the American people because they loved America. They were patriots of America. They were not citizens of religion. They were not citizens of region. So now, why do we have to have president from the south, then vice president from the north? If the north take it for 8 years, the south will take it for another 8 years. And then you know what you are doing? You are disenfranchising the best people who can lead the country. Every country should use its best. And that's what the rest of the world is doing. So why are we this way? And people from outside will come and sell us government of national unity. Have you heard about America forming government of national unity? Yes. Have you ever heard Britain forming government of national unity? If somebody wins an election, he wins. He goes to represent. If he's not able to represent, he resigns for the next person to take over. Only in Nigeria, north, south, nonsense. Christian, Muslim. Now look at what Muslim did. Instead of citizens. Look at what they did. Our country is crumbling right before them. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is helpless because he's part of the problem. Instead of us talking about how to push him out, and sink the entire political system. You are telling me an election, Musa Kwankwaso and Atiku. Atiku, I don't even want to talk about Atiku. Atiku is part of everything that is happening to Nigeria. As long as he's a member of Mieti Allah. Mieti Allah has been designated by the United States and the rest of the world as a terrorist organization. Any person who belongs to Mieti Allah is financier of terrorism. Mieti Allah has never hidden its involvement with the insecurity in Nigeria. They sponsored a lot of killings in Benue. And that was why Autumn gave them a fight. Unlike this idiot that they say is a father. I pity those Catholics who will be eating Holy Communion from that criminal. Yes. Atia. Yes. Autumn gave them a fight. So, my people of Nigeria, I don't make politically correct statements. I am not a politician. I don't lie. I'm not trying to get your votes. I am telling you the hard truth. Many people will not tell you. The mainstream media dare not tell you. Shehu or Kimbaloye will never say it. Maybe Oseni Rufai, yeah. Yes. The other one in Arise TV, what is his name? Ruben Abati. He will not tell you. Very cunning man. He will not tell you this truth that I'm telling you. Nigeria is at a war. You hear me? If you can't see, you can't feel, maybe perhaps it has not gotten to you. In no distant time, you will feel it. You will receive it. Nigeria is at a war. The Fulanis in Nigeria have declared a war against Nigeria. The Fulanis, yes, the Fulanis who are driven by Islamic hypocrisy. Yes, they have declared a war against Nigeria and its people. So you Nigerians, we Nigerians must unite. Stop this Igbo Yoruba madness. Why are you fighting? Why are you killing yourself for nothing? And the real enemy is advancing. He's using you. A miniature small enemy is manipulating you. Man, Igbos and Yorubas, man, it's time you end this. I don't want to play back some nasty history. Some of us don't want to hear. But it's the truth. The coup that they call Igbo coup, you know who they wanted to put as a prime minister? Obafemi Awolowo. The Igbo coup. Yes, the so-called Igbo coup. None of those young men was ready to be president. They did it because they believed that Awolowo was a more organized politician and a bureaucrat who could do work. Looking at what they say he did in the West. All right, they had more confidence in him than they had in Azikiwe. Those Igbo boys, yeah, if you said they are Igbos now, let's agree that they are Igbos. They did not plan the coup for themselves. They planned the coup, succeeded in the coup, but who stopped them? It was an Igbo man who stopped them. Two Igbo people, and perhaps more. Ojukwu was part of those who stopped them. Agui Ronsi, who became head of state, was the main one who stopped them. He talked Nzogo out of it. Nzogo moved to Lagos. I believe part of their negotiation was that they will not execute them. Otherwise, they had succeeded. Nzogo had Kaduna and the North for all the time he had them. All that needed a direct confrontation if Ojukwu and Agui to play. But if they talked to him, he agreed, and he walked into an arrest. So when some bastard Fulanis come and say that the Igbos killed their Sardona, fake Sardona, criminal Sardona, they forget what he said about the Igbos on day one and what he said against the rest of Nigeria. That for in the foreseeable future, he doesn't see any reason why citizens of Nigeria from other parts of Nigeria should be hired to work in the Northern Civil Service. Yes, he preferred a white man first. Did you hear? He said the U.S. expatriate. He pointed at the reporter, the expatriate first. Okay, Northerners first. When he said Northerners, Fulanis. Because the Hausa people were never educated. You need to hear from an Hausa person. So you will cry. You cry, you will beg Hausas for forgiveness for all the years of blame that we were blaming them, that they are responsible for what happened to Nigeria. Yes, those people you are seeing speaking Hausa, they still speak it. They abandon their language. They don't speak Fufude. When they want to cheat, when they want to reach a larger audience, they speak Hausa. The Hausa man is a very mellow person. The Hausa man is not one who will pick up a gun to kill you. You don't understand them. All right? The Hausa man is a very mellow person. They are Africans. They don't have the violent Arab blood. Yes, that the Fulanis have. The Hausa man is a very gentle person. He's gentle to a fault. He loves religion to a fault. And that religion is what they have used to destroy them. Allah said this. The Fulani people are all the clerics, all the Islamic clerics in the north. Majority of them are Fulanis. So the Hausas go to their mosque to listen to their bullshit every Friday and believe them. They don't practice what they preach to the Hausa people. Yes. So now let hell come down because nobody has ever told them. Yes. They lie to the Hausa people that their poverty was made possible by Allah. Allah Seriki, Alhamdulillah. No, stop saying Alhamdulillah for your poverty. The Fulanis made you poor. They castrated you. They disarticulated you. They made you look stupid. Your ancestors stupid. And they expect you to remain stupid. They expect your generation to remain stupid. The hate the Fulanis have for the Hausas. You need to hear a Fulani talk about an Hausa person. Yes, talk about the Fulanis. When one Fulani, we talk to 1,000 Hausa people, they be afraid. If you know what happened to South Africans in South Africa, that is exactly what the Fulanis did to the Hausas. It's apartheid, driven by the Satan, like what Paul Kruger and his children did in South Africa. That is what is been happening to those our brothers and sister Africans who are Hausas. If you are a Nigerian today, you must go to think. If you are a Nigerian today, you must go and be resolute about joining the Hausa people. They are beginning to organize to take back what was stolen from them. And all of us must be part of them. We must not treat them like the Igbos were treated. When they jumped on Igbos, the Fulanis manipulated the massacre of the Igbos, a massacre that was not supposed to be. Yes, they manipulated all of us, and we call it a civil war. Where was that a civil war? It's a civil war fought in one location. The Igbos were ambushed and massacred. They massacred them in the north. They massacred some in the southwest. Even in my area, some Igbos were massacred. Yes, the truth has to be told. Everybody lined up against these innocent people. These people who only ask questions. Yes, some of them are loud. So what? Every group, every ethnic group has something that is peculiar to them. The Igbos are very expressive. That is who they are. We must begin to learn how to coexist with people, to tolerate people. They will not come to your place to violently take it, like we are experiencing today. Yes, they made us hate them. 3 years of massacre. And when I hear some people like Alabi Sama talk about his prowess in the war, I begin to look at that man as an idiot. If he still has not learned anything, yes. His father is from Delta State, where I come from. His mother is Yoruba. Yes, I heard some of his interviews, how he was boasting about what he did during the war, during the genocide. He was a genocidal killer, like a Murtala Muhammad. Thank God his head was cut off for his crime against humanity. Yes. So, Nigerians, we must get our acts together. Nigeria is not, the structure, the constitution of Nigeria is very wrong. But I want to tell you that every country on earth, no country was made in heaven. Citizens built the countries to their taste. But there's something I have observed as a Nigerian who has lived in Nigeria for long. The only place where I did not live is Igbo land. I did not live there. But I lived in Kano for 8 years and traveled through the north of Nigeria. I lived in Lagos. I traveled a bit of the southwest of Nigeria. I spent a lot of time in Delta, Benin area. I know so much about those places. Yes. The hate, the hate in Nigeria is too much. The hate for especially the Igbos is too much. Nigerians, it's time we drop this. Let us let the hate go away, especially the younger generation of Nigerians. We must not continue to recycle this hate. We have done enough of that. It has done our country an incalculable damage. We can stop. The same people who masterminded the killing of Igbos in the north of Nigeria, that some of us practice also in our own areas, are the ones masterminding the killings in the northeast. They are the ones responsible for the killings in the north central. You remember the north central produced some of the best soldiers that were used to prosecute what they call war, that I say is a genocide. Yes, the Usainis, the Nyengas, the Jogabas, and others, Onojas, they were all from that part of Nigeria. Yes, the T.Y. Danjumas. And at that time, they were made to believe that they were Northerners. Northerners versus Igbos. Now they have all realized. I hear Danjuma. There's something he still has not been able to do. To apologize for the killing of Agui Ironsi. He was the one who killed Agui Ironsi. Danjuma. Go on. They had to be the Fulanis in order to do that job. Yes. Gawan had to be a Fulani. Gawan had to change his name from Jacob to Yakubu. Yes. Yes. And that man that is still not repenting at 92, that is still not able to tell Nigerians the truth, to say sorry for what he did, it's scary. So he wants to, God spared his life so he can speak the truth. Ojukwu spoke his own and went. Gawan refused to speak the truth. He's still hanging there. He can't speak the truth. So Nigeria will start healing. Babangida has spoken his truth. Even as dubious as he was, he cleared the air about what that coup was about. Awolowo did not speak the truth before he left. The boys who who fought for him to become prime minister, he turned his back against them and joined the enemies of Nigeria to prosecute a war that killed over 1 million Igbo children through his economic blockade. He did not say sorry before he went away. We can't continue this country this way. There has to be a new pathway. And that new pathway has to involve each and every one of us to say enough is enough. I live in the United States. I've lived here for 30 years. Prior to coming here, I lived in South Africa. I've never seen any country as divided as Nigeria. I've never seen any place. We Nigerians here, you see the kind of noise we make when we are here. When they violate us here, you need to see a Nigerian reacting here in the United States. We buy some of the best houses here. Nobody tells us to go. Nobody tells us we are not going to sell you these houses because we are from Nigeria. But some of us live here to continue to practice the evil instead of being light to our people at home. That we can build a country where everybody can live peacefully, regardless of our tribal or religious differences. It is time. But I tell you this, Nigeria is at a war, and the war is declared by the Fulanis. They want to take that country, and we must not allow them to take. I don't care who cries. I know they'll be crying. But this is the truth. When you don't see them speaking, the only people who are speaking, the only Fulanis who are speaking are those who are converted to Christianity. Yes, like El Buba. I'm going to have to give it to him. He's a good man. He was an Islamist. He spoke the truth. He confessed his past. And he's living happily. I've seen some young Fulanis who are on the others are not a Christian. Yes, I've seen them. When they convert, they get better. Yes. But these ones who are Arabs, they never get better. They are violent, they are savage, they are wicked, they are selfish, they are nepotistic, they are disrespectful, they are horrible. Those are the ones who listen to Ahmad Gumi. Any person who listens to Ahmad Gumi will never see the kingdom of God. Any person who listens to Sa'ad Abu Bakr, the Satan in Sokoto, will go to hell because that is where he is going. So the people of Nigeria, especially the Yorubas, you see now what is been happening in other places is in your place now. They can't be your friends forever. They will use you when they need you. And when they don't need you anymore, they discard you and start fighting you. Their mission is to take Nigeria. Nigeria is so strategic to their mission of taking over the rest of West Africa before they take on Africa. Africa is their goal. And their partners are France and China. Yes. Go to Zamfara to see what Chinese are doing. They are the ones. And they will call America. Okay, when Donald Trump came, what did he do? He stopped the US aid because he understood what some Americans were using the US aid to do in the north of Nigeria. As much as I didn't like Donald Trump, that particular decision changed a lot of things about how I viewed him because I was concerned. My original Facebook account was closed because of a report I made about France. Within that 60 minutes of releasing that live video, over 60,000 people watched it. And they knew it was going to go into the millions. And a lot of more Nigerians will be enlightened and the people of the world. They called Facebook, and Facebook blocked my account. And I lost interest in Facebook for about 3 years. And the people started telling me, a lot of people are asking about you. Please, we need your voice. That's how I went back to Facebook. Otherwise, I don't like Facebook. Facebook is shit. because he works with the corrupt countries' leadership in Africa. Yes. So that's how they slam that. France is heavily involved in what is destroying Africa. And that is why Burkina Faso kicked them out. And that's why Niger kicked them out. That is why Mali kicked them out. The rest of Africa should kick them out. But since this drug dealer came to power in Nigeria, he brought France into Nigeria. And then the result is what we are seeing: increased insecurity that is getting worse. So, my dear brothers and sisters in Nigeria, I want to remind you one thing: self defense is a universal doctrine, it's an almighty God approved doctrine. Yes, it is a biological doctrine. If a foreign body comes near you, you have a right to fight back. Fight with everything available to you. Go now back to your communities and start doing things that will prevent these invaders from having a place to bet in your places. They are everywhere. They are on a mission. A war has been declared, and you see them. Our national security agencies have given up because they are all part of it. The command and control infrastructure of our military are in their hands. Forget about Oluyede, the dumbest chief of defense staff. I don't know where they got him from. I don't know how he rose to become a general in Nigeria's army. Yes, look at Christopher Musa. I told the people when they appointed him Minister of Defense, I said, this guy is a joke. Where is Christopher Musa today? He's not talking. He's in the cooler. Bello Matawale is in charge. Nu Ribadu is in charge. And they're arming the Fulanis to seize our country. And you are there. I don't want to prescribe this election to you guys. But if you look at the election that you are talking about, some people say they are going to vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu out in 2027. Now, look at all the candidates who won party primaries. Tell me what changed. Are they not the same people? So what are you going to use to change Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Is it only Peter Obi that you have? Peter Obi, if you like, elect him 200 times. He's not going to perform a damn thing. Forget about all the nonsense he's talking about. He cannot. The environment does not support him. He's not a revolutionary. He doesn't find people like me have to challenge the corrupt Nigerian system. He's just a politician making a statement. The enemies are overwhelming. So the only thing that they will listen to is the power of the people. So the Nigerian people, you must be ready to use your power of the people. And the target is not just Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We must take down the entire political system in Nigeria down and begin the process of rebuilding Nigeria and putting the country on the pathway to the pathway of genuine nationhood and progress. Did you see? Pathway to the pathway of genuine nationhood and greatness. We are very far from it. We have not even started. As long as we still expect people to pay us for votes, as long as we do not understand that we are human beings with rights to our lives, right to choice, right to freedom of expression, yes, right to freedom of association, right to worship, and right to self-determination. We are not there yet. As long as we don't understand that we are citizens of Nigeria, whose allegiance is only to the Constitution of Nigeria, we are not there yet. We have not started. Yes. As long as we continue to see our fellow Nigerians as foreigners to their country, the country that we share with them, we cannot be a people, we cannot be a country. Yes. Are we ready to purge ourselves? And if we don't, we need this purge for us to be able to unite to fight the Fulani enemies. There are enemies. They don't want the good of Nigeria. And we must rise up in defense of ourselves, in defense of our communities, in defense of our children and their future, and in defense of our fatherland, Nigeria, an African country, not an Arab or European country. We must put forward, advance the cause of our Africanness above and beyond the Arabic and European culture that were imposed on us. We are first Nigerians, we are first Africans, and we are human beings that deserve to be respected and dignified. We are not the people that anybody can come and rape and then get away with it while we wait for another one to happen. Yes, it is time. And the only people who can make it happen is we, the people. And if we need help, we must get the help from genuine people who care. And to this, I'm calling on President Donald Trump to thank him for the bombing he did on December 25th. But I tell you, President Trump, that was a half measure. The killing has increased since then. Killing the overall leader of the terrorist network, ISIS, whatever, is not enough. If you truly love Nigeria, the way Nigerians loved you during your campaign, you must do something now. They went to Turkey. They went to Turkey to sign a military pact with Turkey. Nigeria signed a military pact with Saudi Arabia that America is protecting. What kind of nonsense is that? Just to satisfy these bigoted hypocrites, Fulani hypocrites that use Islam. You see, they have made Islam most distasteful. Yes, yes. If I was considering to become a Muslim, looking at what these people do, is a turn off for me. And I call on Muslims in Nigeria to rise up, to purge their religion of these undesirable elements. Your silence means that you are accomplices. If I was a Christian, I was a Muslim, somebody is doing something that is un-Islamic, I'm going to challenge him. So the Muslim community in Nigeria, you have a job to do. You must unite with the rest of Nigeria as citizens of Nigeria to end this nonsense that is going on in our country. With this, we come to the end of this show. And let me thank all those who joined us throughout the duration of this broadcast. And I'm going to actually read if a lot of there are some things that some people wrote here. Let me just read. All right. Augustine Igwe, thank you. He said, I am an Igbo man. I am pained the way the whole country is going. Nnamdi Kanu warned us about this, and we didn't listen. But why is he still locked up? Don't you think he should be released? Absolutely. Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Nnamdi Kanu warned about this whole thing. Yes, like we all have been talking about it. Now the chicken has come home to roost. And then there's no reason to continue to hold that young man for speaking the truth. But and then the same system that is holding him has been silent about what Gumi and Usman Yusuf and that Satan in Sokoto have been saying. So it means that they are above the law and that they cannot be arrested and prosecuted for their crime. This man did not do anything wrong. He only raised an objection. They abducted him from Kenya, and then sadly, Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be a British citizen, and then his arrest, detention, and trial and jailing tells you about how nasty Britain is. America will not do that to any of their citizens. If I was the one who went to Kenya or I come to Nigeria, somebody arrests me unjustly, America will come for them. Yeah, absolutely. Britain failed Nnamdi Kanu, and it is sad. And this is the reason why Nigeria must turn its back and sequester itself from the control of Imperial Britain, just the same way the United States did, and then became the greatest power on the surface of this earth. How many of you know that America was a British colony? How many? America was a British colony until Americans stood up and said, you know what? Why are we paying taxation to this little country, island country in Europe? And they said, no, we're not going to do it anymore. They broke away, and hell did not let loose. Hell did not come down. Today, America is the greatest superpower with the most powerful military on earth. They can go to Britain and take over Britain in a second. Before Britain does anything, it seeks the permission of America. So don't you think if America could do it and became the most powerful country on earth, why can't an African country do it? Why can't that country be Nigeria? Nigeria with everything, endowed with everything. You know why Britain will not let Nigeria go? But we are going to go. The country has to get into the right hand, and we will send a powerful message to Imperial Britain that we are not Europeans, and we are going to go. If they want to do business with us, they better come and negotiate, and then we give them whatever we want to give them, and not them telling us what to do. They have been in cohesion with the Fulanis for a very long time to hold our country back, hold our country down. So a Nigerian can do that and be free and become a world power. So our relationship with Britain has been such a disaster. It's a curse. We don't want that curse anymore. Nigerians, you have to wake up. We are so educated to be the way where we are. We are so enlightened to be where we are. We have so much resources to be where we are. Britain has nothing. What drives the British economy is from Nigeria. Money stolen from Nigeria and illegal and dirty deals their government come to do in Nigeria. It will take one person, it will take one government supported by the people to break the chain of Britain over Nigeria. And you will see Nigeria fly like America flew and became the most powerful country on earth. Don't you see what they do? From 10,000 miles, they can go and pick up a president of a country. It takes power to do that. We have all the potentials to make that happen, but we don't have the leadership because we have been choosing the type of leadership that is not befitting for us as a people because of our corrupted processes. We must stop going forward, stop selling votes, stop electing people on impulse. Yes, that has to do with ethnicity, religion, and because it's your brother. You have seen that all those have not helped our country grow. There have been causes. Why can't we look for the right person? One, every, for every position, we put the best and see if the country will not take off. Thank you very much, my brother. Nnamdi Kanu, I tell you, will be released. One way or the other, either by force or otherwise. But I tell you that he's not going to spend his life in jail. That one is certain. It is impossible. I can tell you, unless he dies tomorrow. And then they know that there's danger in having him die in detention. Yeah, that's another thing. All right, Augustine, thank you very much. Say, keep on enlightening the people. I believe one day we'll get there. Absolutely. I have no doubt that we're going to get there. And I believe it's coming soon. Because the way things are heading right now, even if they organize the election is going to lead to a revolution. Everywhere Nigeria turns to now is a pathway to a revolution. So let's keep faith. And then again, while we are doing this, let's advise our people to be security conscious and organize and organize and organize and organize and get ready for what is to come, because the mission of these people is to seize our country. This is not a joke. It is a blueprint that they are using. All right, and they are serious about it. That is why they don't relent. All right, so even if our army has given up, because it's not our army anyway, we must not give up on ourselves. Remember, self-defense is a universal doctrine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, yes, yes, yes. Majority Hausa need liberation. I feel that they are enjoying it. Okay, now the Hausa people are beginning to rise up, my friend. I'm telling you this. They are beginning to rise up. We are very much in touch with them. So all we can do for them is to give them the confidence, support them, and be part of hyping what they are doing. Let's not be judgmental. Let's stop blaming them. Well, they didn't know, but if you're in their position, perhaps who knows how we all react. You know what it takes to be subjugated for 222 years. All you hear is one Fulani overlord telling you something, and everybody's saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes. Until recently, now some began to ask questions. Yes, so because they deliberately did not educate them. They did not give them pathway to anything. The army will say that the Hausa people are more in the army. No, there's not enough Hausa people in the army. They are all Fulanis who speak Hausa and make it look like they are Hausa. They are not. So we must rise up and stand up to them. The people in Central African Republic did that in 2011 when they had it. Yes, this same nonsense they are doing in Nigeria, they did it in Central African Republic until the owners of the land decided to wake up and then ran them. So we must do it in Nigeria without apologies to anyone. And this is the reason why we are warning the United Nations and all the European countries that are supporting them. Yes, don't cry genocide when the people of Nigeria start reacting and fighting back. Do not cry genocide, because you have been seeing everything that these people have been doing to our people unchallenged. So United Nations, Imperial Europe, especially Britain, that has been benefiting from their illicit relationship with them, China, and the rest of them, you must not cry. France, don't cry when the people of Nigeria start fighting back the Fulanis. Yes, and the moderate Fulanis in Nigeria, we want you on board of this struggle. Come out and be counted. You have lived long enough with us. We can accommodate you. But be true Nigerians. Don't be subversive. Join us in this struggle to free our country from the stranglehold of a few criminals who are from your race. They are not doing you any good, but exposing you to danger. Let us not replay what happened in Rwanda here at this time, because we are heading in that direction. When the Nigerians get angry, they'll be very, very angry, because their anger has been bottled for a very long time. So it is time for everybody to come out and do what must be done to save that great edifice of a country called Nigeria. The Yorubas, you must do your own part. Stand up, stand up, stand up with the rest of Nigeria. Be counted as Nigerians. Nigeria is our country and not a Fulani country. Nigeria is not an Arab country. Nigeria is an African country. Yes, we were kept together against our wishes, but we are here now. Even if you have to dissociate, let us sit down on a table and then end the relationship so that everybody goes his way without being hurt. That's what we are asking. Okay, uh, okay, David Odunewe. Okay, who do we have to replace the current political rules? The opposition are the worst as the incumbent. So it is jumping from from frying pan to fire. My brother, I agree with you very, very well. You heard what I said about the opposition. You heard what I said about Peter Obi and his alliance with Kwankwaso. Is not going to lead us anywhere. but a catastrophe. Atiku is a criminal. ADC is a Fulani elite's last card. All right, so you see them, but what they are doing. So that's why I'm telling you, whatever Nigeria turns, we are going to have a revolution. That's the thing. A revolution is going to happen in Nigeria, and then new leadership we throw up. We are not going to. We don't have. Revolution. You don't plan anything, but we are heading to that place where it's going to be catastrophic, and then a new leadership will come out. A leadership that will be driven by love for country and not criminals who loot and go and develop other places. Hey, it's been such a pleasure. If you like what we do, uh, okay, somebody asked this. Sam Siri. Samirisa. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know if I pronounce your name well. How long will it take for Nigerians to wake up? That is the question. No, Nigerians are beginning to wake up, but not enough. But waking up sometimes it takes a few seconds. One small thing will spark something. I think we are getting there. We have no choice. We have no choice right now. Kennedy, thank you very much for joining. We love you guys. If you are a Nigerian, you have not followed us, please follow us. We speak the truth that Reuben Abati does not have the spine to speak. We speak the truth that Shehu Aukimbaloye will never speak. We speak the truth like Oseni Rufai is doing a very great job, but he's employed, so somehow he plays the thing. But now we don't owe anybody. Nobody pays my bill. Nobody pays our bills. So if you can help us, if you can help us to create a powerful alternative voice for the people of Nigeria, follow us. All right? You can disagree with us. Ask us questions. We explain why we behave certain ways. Everything we do has a reason. Everything we do has a reason. I am not one person that anybody can buy with money. Yes, you don't give me money. I don't need money. I don't have money, but I don't need money to speak the truth. I don't need money to stand up for the people of Nigeria. So do your own part for us. Follow us, subscribe to our channel, like what we do, be a part of us, join the Open Nigeria movement. That is where we're on Facebook. Open Nigeria. If you want to join Open Nigeria, you say type in at Open Nigeria 1 at Open Nigeria ONE. Then you say follow us there. And if you have a leadership skill, if there's anything that is special that you can do, indicate, because this work is a lot of work. I spend a lot of time doing what I do. In addition to being a father and a family man and somebody who works too. I work, but I love Nigeria. That is why I put a lot of time and emotion and energy and my finances into enlightening the people of Nigeria. That's the least I can do. Remember, if for those who don't know me, I was in the senatorial race in 2019. Yes, and that was how I saw Nigeria and how rotten the country is. We can't continue that country. Nigeria is so beautiful. Honestly, if Nigeria gets 40% better, what can I do for you? I'll come back. Yes, even if say I enjoy a lot of things here, I will come back. Yes, yes. Let us work hard together so that our young people will not be migrating aimlessly to places that are worse on earth than Nigeria. Yes. Yeah, you said okay, at Ozatesi. Okay. Yes, he said the criminal politicians have subdued the citizens with poverty. We are too gullible to fight back and take back our country. Absolutely, I agree with you. Poverty is not, when you talk about poverty, because I studied poverty, I understand what poverty does to the mind and what poverty does to the body and what it does to the future. So, this is the reason why we, the poor people, must have a platform where we can talk to one another and do some kind of comparative analysis, between what we are going through and what those who oppress us are going through. If we can find a day together to say we have had enough. It happened in other places. When the people are pushed to the wall, like Nigerians are pushed to the wall now, I don't see any reason why they will not fight back. The reason Nigerians are not fighting back yet, the way they ought to do, is they find a way to survive. Very soon there will be nothing to survive on. And then the only thing to do is to survive on those who oppress us. That is when the people start biting. That is when you push a goat to the wall, the goat will fight back in self-defense. I believe, let's not be so pessimistic that we cannot do that. I believe all we need to do now is unite first. And our line of our unity should, emphasize, you know, religion has been a big problem in Nigeria that they use to hold us down. The pastors are not doing a good job. The pastor who tell you that if somebody slaps you, and it's okay to give him another ear to slap, it's not preaching the word of God. Even Jesus Christ chased criminals out of his father's house in his lifetime. He didn't like what they were doing. So sometimes the interpretation those pastors give for their own selfish benefit is a big problem to us. So that is why it is important, if they tell you, go back and read. Because we are, like you said, we are gullible. We are mentally lazy. We are too lazy to go do researches on our own. There's no reason anybody should make us poor. God did not make us poor. God did not make our humanity poor. The people who made us poor are our own people. And our own choice to be quiet is the reason why they have sustained the poverty in our country. We should stop singing their praises. We should stop following them. Yes, we should stop. And if we must take anything from them, we must take it on the premise that what they are giving to us is what they stole from us, and that we have the audacity to take it and still work against them. That's what we have been telling them. But I don't know, somehow it's like they put them in a bind that they cannot do that. You, you are a young person, somebody gives you a gun to kill another person for his political gain, and then you do it, and then the guilt is on you. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't. So the reason is we must all wake up now to say this is a new time. We must stop hate. Hate in Nigeria is too much. We must stop hating one another. We are all victims of the same people. Yes, in the east, west, north, and south, we are victims. Yes, we are victims. Yes. So if we realize that we are victims, it makes it easier for us to fight back. Yes, ethnicity is our major problem. The pastors are working for our oppressors. They keep collecting from the masses. Yes, absolutely. So now that you know now, so you be an evangelist against tribalism. All of us will be. I'm a big evangelist against tribalism. Even my people, they tell me that I don't protect my tribe. I say no, I do not. I'm not an ethnic champion. I am a champion for good. Anybody can come and live with me as long as you respect your boundaries. That's all. That's all we need. And when we come together for things to be done, we come together as a people and get it done for the love of country. That is what, and the love of our own love and our own benefit and the benefit of our children. No true parent will put his or her children in the kind of jeopardy Nigerian children are going through right now. Because all the people who are misleading Nigeria are bad parents. They are bad parents. They are evil. The people who come and be borrowing on top of our head for nothing that they do to make our place better, they are evil. And that is what Bola Tinubu and this generation of politicians in Nigeria represent. We must flush them. That's what I said. We must flush them. We must flush them. If we don't flush them, they will kill us off with hunger. You see, they destroyed healthcare, they destroyed education, they destroyed infrastructure, they destroyed national security. What is left for us? Fight back. That is what it is. I love you guys, and thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Always, please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, use this moment to do so. We want to grow with you. We want to be that voice together. And I tell you this, we will not let you down. Bye for now. Bye-bye.